Today I'm going to make a tiger lily for you. So I have this wonderful orange gum paste that I'm going to use to make the tiger lily. And I've got probably about a golf ball size piece. And I'm going to roll into a fat sausage and then French bread style, rolling from the center out. Roll it across 3 of the grooves on this grooved cell board. This is the large cell board. Flatten it slightly. I'm going to give it a little bit of a dust with my dusting pouch, which is an equal combination of cornstarch and confectioner's sugar. I'm going to use my 9-inch rolling pin with 1/16 of an inch size guide rings on there to roll this to a 1/16 of an inch thin. I'm rolling forward and backwards across the groove to get it to a 1/16 of an inch thin. Once I have that done, I'm going to lift it away from the grooved part of the board. I'll flip my board over, and for demonstration I'm going to bring over this blue board so that you can see better. So I have the groove sides here. For my cutters, I'm going to use Wilton Gumpaste flower cutters. These are the lily cutters. For the tiger lily, I would use 3 of the wide and 3 of the narrow. So there's 3 wide and 3 narrow petals. I've done some petals already, so for demonstration I'm just going to do 1 of the wide today. I'm going to center the base of this petal at the bottom and then have the groove going up the center of the petal. I'll press down, give it a little shake, wiggling back and forth, and then to get a good clean cut, I like to run my hand across the cut edge of the cutter and lift away my petal. Ordinarily I would do 3 petals, so then I would do 2 more of that, roll out again, and do 3 of the narrow petals. With this I'm going to use a 26 gauge wire. So I have a 26 gauge wire, and I don't need the whole length of the wire. I've cut this, was about an 18-inch length, into thirds with wire cutters. And I'm going to dip it in what I call a little gum glue. Gum glue for me is just gum paste that I've dissolved in a little bit of water. So it was about a 1/4 teaspoon of gum paste that I dissolved in about a tablespoon of water. And I'm going to hold this up between my thumb and index finger, and I'm going to slide the wire in that groove that I created when I rolled it. I'm going to use my thumb and middle finger just as kind of a guide. See, if I press through, I can just pull it back and then slide it a little bit more. Once I get it about a third of the way through, I'm going to give it a little bit of a pinch there at the base to secure it. Good. Now I want to create an imprint. I want to create an imprint on the flat side of the petal. I have this wonderful Stargazer Lily pattern press that I've had for quite a while. I don't even remember who I got it from, and I like it because it's a double-sided press. But you could just as easily use, this is a Wilton pattern press. It has little grooves here. You could put the flat side there, take a piece of foam and press, and that would create an imprint. So it's you don't have to use the pattern press that I'm using today. I like this one because this has a nice imprint on it. So I'm going to put it down where the imprint is first. As I say, it's double-sided, so I'll put the other side on top and give it a nice little press. This is made from silicone, so it is really nice to use. And then I'll pull it away, and you can see it's created a nice little pattern on there, which will show up even nicer once I color this gum paste. Now I'm going to take this is a cell board, and there's a coated side and a flat and a soft side, and I'm going to take this over onto the soft side, flip my petal over, so now this is the back of the petal on here. You could just as easily use a thin piece of foam and get the same results, but I like these cell boards. I think they're really nice. To soften the edges of the petal, I like to use the rolling pin. I find that it makes a nice curve on there. So I use the rolling pin mostly on the foam and a little on the cut edge of the petal. And I'm pressing down quite firmly to give it a curl because I think tiger lilies have a lot of movement to them. I work from the base of the petal out to the outer edge. You could also use a the ball tool for the same results, doing on the foam, mostly on the foam and a little on the cut edge. The harder you press down, again, the more movement, the more curl you're going to get to that. So I'll curl that up. Then I've lost my little point here a bit, so what I'm going to do is flip it back over to the front of the petal and just give it a little bit of a point there, just accentuate that point. Good. Now taking it again onto my foam, I'm going to flip it around so the base is towards me. I have these sort of long, narrow tweezers that I like to use to create a little ridged groove there. So I'm going to take those, I'm going to separate them just about 1/8 of an inch, press down and give it a little bit of a squeeze there. It gives it just a little bit of a groove all the way down the center of the petal. Then taking it onto my thicker foam here, I'm going to use the Dresden tool to create a center vein down here. So I'm going to go from the base of the petal right down to the point of the petal without ruining my ridged groove too much. Like that. We're almost there. Last, I'm going to take my pencil tool, and with the pencil tool I'm going to wrap the base of the petal just around it to form a little bit of a groove there, a little indentation there, so that when I go to attach it to my center stem, it'll nestle in nicely. I'm going to hold the whole length of the wire here and give it just a little bit of a bend. If the wire pokes through, you can push it back through, but this will help it to dry a little bit easier in the flower former. I'm using a wave, the Wilton Wave flower former. You can use large flower formers. You can even use the cardboard inserts of paper toweling to cut in half to do it. And here's the front of my petal with that nice ridge there. That part's going to go down. So the back of the petal is facing upwards. That way, once it's dry, you can put it on with with it curving away from you. Good. So I'll let that dry for about 24 hours.